What's up? This is Hype Man here. I'm ready to release my NBA top 15 players. It is March 2018. LeBron just went nuts in the Nuggets. I don't know what's gonna happen, but with the Cavs, but LeBron is just balling out. But let's start with the top 15 players. I'm going to start from number 15. I got DeMarcus Aldridge in San Antonio Spurs. This dude is ridiculous. He's got such a silky smooth jumper. Anywhere near the post, he hunkers down all there, give him the ball, and the man does work. He's got that patent, trademark fadeaway jumper in the post. I mean, you don't see any of the bigs do it anymore. It's just so smooth, and you know he's been working his whole career. He's been putting up some ridiculous number with a PER of 13. He puts up 22.5 points, got like 8 rebounds, 1.2 blocks. The man has put on the work, and he's the sole reason. He is the sole superstar to push the Spurs to a top 3 seed. I mean, we know the Spurs is a system. We know they got their role players, but you still have that one superstar. And when Timmy was playing, he had Tony Parker and Ginobili. Kawhi was with him when he was doing it. This is just DeMarcus Aldridge and his band of followers. That's all it is this season. I mean, Kawhi says he's going to come back, but until then, you got to get to DeMarcus Aldridge. Top 15, number 15. Alright, let's go to the next one. Number 14, I got the big man from Detroit, Mr. Andre Drummond. This guy is a rebounding machine, a monster in the post. Any rebound, any loose ball that's there, this dude is gonna snag it all up. I mean, he puts up points, puts up like 15 points and almost 16 rebounds with a PER of 14. The dude is a machine. All you gotta do is shoot jumpers, and if you make it, you make it. If you miss it, he's going to grab it, and then he's going to dunk it on you. The only thing with him is he really needs to just polish his game. I mean, there's so many talented bigs right now. You got Cat, you got AD. All he's got to do is just watch some film and then practice, you know? Maybe get that Mamba mentality. And he's improved his free throw percentage a lot. He used to be in the 40s, and now he's almost 70s. So props to him for that one. Just keep continuing to grow, and you know, you hopefully right now, as of now, the Pistons aren't doing so hot with Blake Griffin. They've been losing a couple of games, but hopefully, if Drummond can step up his game, they should be able to sneak in. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, just look at these highlights coming up; it's crazy. And then we go on to the next one. All right, so for 13. Lucky number 13 might be unlucky, but in his case, it's been lucky because he has been putting on some monster stats. I'm talking about the talented big man from Minnesota, Mr. Karl Anthony Towns. Cat for short. This dude has been balling this season. He has literally come and taken over what was supposed to be Anthony Wiggins' job. He is taking over as the de facto leader and the main post presence in that offense. The guy's been putting in monster numbers like 20 points, 12 rebounds, gets a block and a half average, but his presence on the court is just undeniable. He can shoot threes. He's just the modern big man who's versatile in everything. The guy does everything on offense. He might not be the best defensive big. That might be his one deficiency. But the good thing is, defensively, that's something you can always improve on. So just a little bit of coaching and a little bit of practice and effort, he can definitely step it up to a next level. But these highlights are ridiculous. Next, we got at number 12, I put in Bradley Beal. Why? Because ever since John Wall got injured and he's been out, Bradley Beal has taken over as the man for the Wizards. This dude has been putting up, like 23 points? His PR is like 47, but like he puts up some shooting guard numbers. He averages almost 5 assists, 5 rebounds. The man just does his job. I mean, he is a shooter in the truest form. He is probably what Klay Thompson could be if Klay Thompson had his own team. But Bradley Beal does more in transition. He might not play much on defense as much as Klay Thompson, but then Klay has a lot of stars that take off pressure for him on offense. So that would be interesting to see. But Bradley Beal, number 12, carrying the Wizards all by himself for a couple months now. So that's my guy. I mean, look at the highlights over here. I mean, ridiculous range. And the shooting stroke, perfect. Any kids who want to know how to shoot the ball perfectly, Bradley Beal's your man. Let's go to the next one. Number 11, I gotta go with the man from Indiana. This dude just came out of nowhere. Supposed to be a number 2 guy behind Russell Westbrook last year. Guy gets traded for PG, comes and puts on a show for Indiana. Representing his hometown to the fullest. PR of 18, puts up 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals per game. A little more than 2 steals per game. Shows you how he does it on both sides of the court. The man is a beast. You know he can dunk. He hasn't won a dunk contest, but he has put on some ridiculous dunk shows. If you want to watch his practice dunk for the All-Star game, that was insane. I've never seen any dunk like that. I'll try to see if I can put a link somewhere by there, but man, look at the highlights. He's insane. He's been carrying Indiana on his back the whole season this year, and he's taken them all the way to spot number 6, I believe. 6 seed, just carrying on his back. Ain't nobody there. There's just one guy named Dante Sabonis and a bunch of role players, and he just carrying them all year. So props to him, man. Number 11. That was Victor Oladipo. So let's keep going. I got Chef Curry. Yes, a lot of people will not accept Chef Curry being this low. I mean, just because I have the Warriors, that doesn't mean I gotta be, super lenient towards the Warriors. Just based on other players, Steph Curry has had a down year compared to his previous years. That you have to agree with. He's been putting up ridiculous numbers as usual, super efficient. The PR of 5, putting up 27 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I mean, come on, it's Chef Curry. The only thing I'd say to Chef Curry is like playing with Draymond Green, KD, and Klay kind of gives you a little lower slope. And compared to the other players that I'm about to mention, his numbers are great, and he is in the top 10, but he's just a little lower than before. The only reason is these other players, they don't have as much help, and they've been putting up monster numbers, carrying their team every time. So that's Chef Curry. I mean, look at these highlights. What can I say? Chef Curry with that shot. Let's go on to the next one. Number 9, I had originally put Steph Curry there, but I mean, based on what I just saw in the last couple of games, overall it's been sustained success. But it's the man from Portland, Mr. Damian Lillard, putting on a show. Has been playing insane ball recently. He had a ridiculous game against the Lakers where he put, you just see the highlights right there. 4 threes back to back, and some other he's not even in LA. He's from like Bakersfield or somewhere. Some ridiculous town, shooting threes like it's nobody's business. The man has been on fire, and the man has always been underrated his whole career. You can blame it on the fact that he's been playing in Portland, but I mean, it's just a lot of guards in the West. I know that, but man, is he disrespected. Hardly anybody mentions him. He had to campaign himself to get the All-Star vote this year. and he's been deserving it for the last 2 or 3 years. But props to my man Dame Lillard. PER for 11, 26.5 points per game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, what more do you need to say? The guy can shoot from anywhere. He can finish in the inside. So like, there's no way to stop him. You know, sometimes you just chill. As you can see, that's what the Lakers did. I mean, they didn't know what to do. This guy just goes on some Steph Curry mode sometimes and just pulls up threes from nowhere, you know. But that's Damian Lillard. You know, he's been doing his whole career. Hope people keep paying attention to it though. But he's number 9, and I think he'll be climbing the next couple of years every time. Man puts on a show. It's just, if he was in New York, he would be hailed as God over there. You know, close to it. But that's my dude, Dame Lillard. Speaking of underrated, number 8 is one of the most underrated shooting guards. Probably, you know, it's pretty soon it'll be up all the time. We're talking about the man from the north, Mr. DeMar DeRozan. Technically he's from USC, but you know, we'll say the north because he's been there a lot. He was drafted there, and he's been steadily progressing his whole career. I mean, what a career! If you look at his numbers, it is ridiculous this season. The man has a PER 25, putting up 20, almost 24 points, putting in 5 assists, and almost four rebounds. I mean, for a shooting guard, those are fantastic numbers. And the main thing right now is, I mean, Kyle Lowry was out for a bit, and this guy just took over. He was unstoppable. The mid-range assassin. He's one of the few left that really knows how to use the fadeaway mid-range. That was patented by Jordan, and then used by Kobe. And there's very few people who still use it, because now it's all about space and pace, 3-pointers. This guy still values those 90 shooting guard, mid-range, pump fakes, and obviously his athleticism's off the charts. I mean, look at this play where he just crushes in the clutch. I mean, completely posterizing people in the clutch. I mean, look at that dunk. That's insane. But that's my guy for number 8. I mean, just enjoy the highlights. Let's go to it's the human dribble god, as his nicknames are starting to splurge out of nowhere. This is the dude from Boston, leading them to a high seed pick and taking over the team since the injury to Gordon Hayward. We're talking about Kyrie Irving, the mini Mamba, I like to call him. The guy's got Mamba mentality. It's just that he doesn't have the size that, you know, Kobe did, but the moves he pulls off are super smooth. I mean, Uncle Drew knows how to go to work, man. I mean, this guy's been putting up monster numbers. Sure, he's, you know, for a point guard, he doesn't have all the assists that he should. But overall, man, the guy's a beast. PER of 8, putting up 25 points, got in some like 5 assists with like 3 rebounds. I mean, come on, those are monster numbers for a point guard. We're talking about 25 points for a point guard, and he's 6'3". His moves are ridiculous. Just look at these moves. If you ever want to learn how to dribble and do crossovers, I mean, Allen Iverson, obviously, that's number 1. But Kyrie is getting up there, man. I'm telling you. He's right up there. He's in the same tier. I would put him in the same tier. I mean, the moves he's got, the spins, the hesitations, the pop-outs. I mean, everything is crazy with this guy, you know? Ever since he came from Duke, guy's been special. But, I mean, just admire the highlights. And number 6, I got the one and only, the guy who runs OKC Thunder, Mr. Triple Double, Mr. Russell Westbrook. I mean, what can I say about Russell Westbrook? The man is a beast. He averaged a triple double in a season. That's all I gotta say. Besides Oscar Robertson, and there's only one other guy. And you go to Oklahoma City Thunder, that's Russell Westbrook area, you know. Paul George and Melo, they went there. They're just number 2 and number 3. You gotta give it to this guy. The man puts his heart on the floor. Anybody can see his hustle. Anybody can see his ridiculous athleticism. Wouldn't be far to call him the most athletic NBA point guard ever. I mean, that's almost a fact. There's nobody else you can compare to who gets the rebounds, can dunk from pretty much the free throw line. I mean, the guy is ridiculous. Just look at these highlights. You haven't seen some of these things before? I mean, spellbinding. You just sit there and it's like you're watching a video game, but it's real life. And it's goddamn Westbrook, you know? So that's, I mean, I don't have to put the numbers, but PR of 12 puts up 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists and 9.6 rebounds, almost a triple-double this year, even though he's out to give the ball to Paul George sometimes and Melo. That guy is just magical, dude. This dude is magical. I mean, when you watch him play, you never thought this was going to happen when KD was still on the team, but I mean, this guy is on a mission. And, you know, you can see the hunger he's got, the competitive fire. And hopefully he keeps carrying on and hope he does greater things. So that's number 6. That's Russell Westbrook. So enjoy the highlights and let's move on. Number 5. It's the silent assassin. It's Durantula, Mr. Kevin Durant, all the way from Texas. He's from Washington, but he went to UT for a year. But the guy, I mean, what can I say? He's been a lead scorer his whole career. I mean, his whole life, basically. The guy is a freak of nature, has ridiculous length and insane shooting ability. You can pull it up from anywhere, 3-point mid-range. You cover the outside, he's going to come in and dunk. Has like an 8 feet wingspan, so you pretty much can't do anything trying to guard him. He can have his way with anybody on the court. And I mean, the points he's put this year, the efficiency has always been there. His PR is 6. Here's his averages: 26 points, 5 assists, and 6.7 rebounds. I mean, nearly 7 rebounds. And then 1.9, almost 2 blocks per game. I mean, this dude is supposed to be a pure scorer, and he's putting up 2 blocks per game. That is insane. I mean, props to KD, man. The guy just took over since last year's finals and hasn't looked back. He has been balling another level, and if he gets to keep this dynasty for the next couple of years, say like 3-4 years, and gets to win championships, man, watch out, people. His name's going to be right up there with everybody else. So let's see him do greater things and put up some great numbers, and let's see him putting up that same efficiency. Props to you, Mr. KD. Enjoy the highlights and let's move on. 4. I got Mr. Greek Freak, the guy from Milwaukee. I mean, this dude came out of nowhere and just took Milwaukee on his back and has been putting up some monster numbers. There's really nothing he can't do. He might be able to improve his shooting a little bit more, but in reality, I mean, for his age, he has unlimited potential. I'm talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think I got it right. But man, this guy takes over the team, leads it. I mean, he's 7 foot and he's like handling the ball like he's a point guard. So, and it takes 2 steps for him and he's already at the rim. I mean, straight from the top of the key to the rim, 2 steps. How are you going to stop that? He's unstoppable. I mean, the Greek Freak, the numbers I got to put up, I'll tell you, his PR is 3, 27.2 points, putting up just a decent 5 assists, and then 10 rebounds, no big deal, and a 0.4 a block and steal. I mean, he's a stat sheet stuffer. He is like fantasy god out there. for all those NBA fantasy guys. But I mean, the dude's a beast, and he's gonna have a great future if he keeps going and improving. All he needs to do is work on his three-pointer and his jump shot, and he's got unlimited potential. Unlimited. Looking to see him do some real damage in the playoffs a few years from now, when he gets the right coach and the right system, I believe. But enjoy the highlights. Number 3, I got the big man from NOP. It's Anthony freaking Davis. If you're an NBA aficionado or a fan, you know who AD is. This dude is a baller when healthy. I mean, the stats he's been putting up lately have been monster. Just monster. Something like those are like Kobe-like numbers with Shaq-like rebounds. You know? I mean, it's insane. His PR is 2. He's put up 28.1 points per game, 2.4 assists, 11 rebounds, 2.2 blocks, and almost a steal and a half per game. These are some insane numbers. You're talking about a big dude. This dude's supposed to be a power forward, and he's putting up these monster numbers. His jump shot's insane. He can pretty much shoot from anywhere. His three-pointer has gone way up in terms of percentage and makes. This dude is a machine. Like, you give him the ball and he does magic for you. I mean, it's kind of sad to see him in the Pelicans for this long and not really have any playoff success. But hopefully, you know, it just sucks with the whole Boogie situation, because Boogie himself would have been in this if he was still playing. Another guy was putting monster numbers, and they were so close to reaching the potential and seeing how really dominating they could be in the whole league. But hopefully, you know, the Pelicans can keep the core together and see what's up, what happens. Maybe at least it's a 2-year contract for Boogie, and give it 2 years to see how it works, because it looked really interesting for a bit there. But yeah, man, AD is the guy. Can't say anything against him. The numbers he put up, undeniable. So enjoy the highlights and let's move on. Right, we're at the top 2 now. And the number 2, it was really hard to come up with who the best player and the second best player is, because I think y'all can guess. If you know number 2, then you're going to know who number 1 is. But for number 2, I had to go with LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James. The only reason I put the other guy up top a little bit higher is because LeBron, while recently put up monster numbers, he had a couple months ago where he was kind of slacking off. You know, those IT months, not months, but like the IT month, when he came in and they got kicked out right away. Yeah, and he was cruising on that empty Brinks truck all his way to LA. But I mean, LeBron since the All-Star break has been on a tear. The numbers he's put out, his PR is 4, 27 points, 9 assists, 8.4 rebounds, 1.5 steals, almost a block a game. I mean, the man does everything for his team, like everything. He averages triple-double He averaged a triple-double for the whole month of February. But again, it's not about the triple-doubles. It's about being the best player in the NBA. He is the best player in the NBA right now. Alright, it's not even a question. But if you're talking about the 2018 season, it's about consistency for me. I mean, y'all can argue, but come on. He had some off months before. And the Cavs at number 3, I believe right now, partially because of those off months he had. Obviously, you can't blame everything on him. But he is pretty much the Cleveland Cavaliers. He decides who stays and who goes. I mean, nothing goes without his permission. That's kind of obvious, I think, especially if it's the main players. But, hey, he is the team. I mean, look at the numbers I told you. Look at these highlights. This dude is in his mid-30s right now. And he is putting up monster numbers. Nothing but respect for the king. LeBron James. Let's enjoy the highlights. Let's move on to we are the top player in the NBA right now, March 2018. It has to be. It was pretty close, but I had to give it to Fear the Beard, Mr. James Harden, the Houston Rockets. I mean, what can I say about James Harden? This dude has been on a tear the whole season. Not recently, not since January, the whole season. The guy has put up monster numbers despite having CP3, another point guard, in his team. Everybody was speculating against it. Everybody was like, oh, how are they supposed to coexist? James Harden's a ball dominant point guard, which he was last year because he was leading the league in assists. I mean, James Harden technically could have won 2 MVPs last year and the year before, and you couldn't really argue against it. You know, he was really underappreciated. But this year, the record, I mean, he's in the West. CP3 has been in and out. When CP3 is in, he plays fantastic. But even when CP3 is in, Harden is putting up his numbers. I mean, when I mean numbers, I mean a PR of 1. Alright? He's just number 1 ranked. Right? 31 points per game. Leading the league. Okay? Almost 9 assists. Which is insane if you're playing with freaking CP3. Alright? And then he's put up few rebounds, and I mean the rest of it is just he's a guard, so he's not going to have like ridiculous blocks and steals. He's not really known for defense. Let's put it at that. But he's taken the Rockets on his back for the last couple of years, and this season he's taken them all the way to the number 1 rank. You cannot go. I mean, sure you can say LeBron has done the same thing, but Harden again, consistency. Consistent production, and he's been playing balls out like crazy all season. Doesn't matter if CP3 is in or out, he just crushes people. I mean, if you really want to see the one highlight to define it, everybody already knows that death stare. You know, Wes Johnson needed some Cliff Paul ankle insurance coverage from Allstate after that. That was vicious. But I mean, highlights like these and the numbers he put up, and the Rockets season overall just punctuates his MVP season. He's definitely, to me, the number 1 player of the whole season. Maybe it can change in the future, but I think right now, and I predict this season's MVP has James Harden's name in it, and he's the only one who can lose it. So those are my rankings. I know some of it might be contentious, and it might not be what you think, but that's why there's a comment section below. So hit the like or subscribe button. Just leave a cool comment. Otherwise, keep it chill.